Writing a good comprehensive IDG note on your well-managed hospice patient and having to do this basically twice a month can get pretty tedious. But I'm going to share with you a little tip here that I use that makes it more like a piece of pie. Hey y'all, I'm Shelly. I do tips for hospice nurses, and today I'm sharing with you the format that I follow to make writing IDG notes pretty easy and where I don't have to put too much thought into them. And what I do is follow the pie method. Problem, intervention, evaluation. I don't know if this is a real thing, it's just one that I made up, but this works for me. And now this is when I'm talking about a well-managed patient. So we didn't really have anything unusual going on over the 14 days. The intervention that I'm sharing in the pie is one that we've been doing, but we're just going to go back and talk about it again. So what I will do is start with my primary diagnosis. So my patient is on for COPD. So for this first one, I'm going to talk about their respiratory status. And the problem is one that is going to give a good picture of debility and support eligibility. So due to progression of terminal end-stage chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, patient has disabling dyspnea at rest, zero tolerance for activity. Patient is unable to speak more than 2 to 3 words without having to stop for recovery breaths. And everything that I'm going to say that's going to show that good image of that patient who has end-stage COPD. Then the intervention is going to be the interventions that I'm doing. And it may be ones that I've been doing. It may not be a change over the last 14 days because maybe nothing changed. But what are the interventions we're doing for this? Are we doing duonebs and oxygen and steroids and maybe morphine, whatever we're doing for the intervention? And then the E is evaluation. How is it working? And you can talk about what patient tells you on how it's working, how you can see the difference in the patient. What did they look like before? What are they looking like now? What happens if we don't do some of this, if they take their oxygen off or something like that? And what does that look like? And that is basically your IDG note. Then the next IDG, I'm going to pick a secondary condition. So let's say this patient has anxiety. So we're going to, what does the anxiety present like? Paint that picture of that patient, what that anxiety looks like. Use your good phrases and everything that support eligibility. Show how debilitated this patient is. What is the intervention? What are we doing for it? If it is something that's PRN, if like you're doing Ativan PRN, I would talk about how frequently the patient needs it. Like maybe it's only once a day or something like that, but put that in there. And then the evaluation, how is that working for them? Then you go to your next secondary and then to your comorbids. And you keep doing this till you run through all of their diagnoses. And then you go back and you start with the primary diagnosis again. And that makes an easy way that you can focus what your note is going to be about. So when you sit down to write your notes, you know exactly what you're going to be writing. Now, y'all remember we have a lot of these phrases in Dawn, the documentation app for hospice nurses, that will give you a lot of ones that you can use to support eligibility. You can go to the system specific ones and just check those all off and it'll pull them all together for you and put it in a note that will make it so much easier for you to write these notes. Eventually, we're going to have the templates in there too. I'm not quite sure when because it takes time and all of that to get it in there, but we will have it in there. So be on the lookout for that. And you guys, y'all remember, if we work together, we can change our world. Y'all be safe out there, and I love y'all.